So we're walking the runways today because today might be the day. Yeah, the Field of Dreams just had a reality check, and it's kind of the field of reality, maybe. There it is, it's October. Been working on the Field of Dreams and just walking the runway today, having a look at it. That's a wolf. Yeah. So we're walking the runways today because today might be the day. It's a beautiful day, not a breath of wind. It's about -2 this morning, so it's a little chilly this morning, so it froze, but the ground is nice and smooth and firm.
So it's October 17th, 2023, and after about 2 years of working on the property we bought, it was time to see if I could actually land at the Field of Dreams. The conditions for today were nearly ideal. There was a slight crosswind, about 6 or 7 knots from the southwest, but I was landing straight west on what would be runway 27 at the Field of Dreams. Takeoff from the Dryden Airport was on runway 30, and as to kind of stack the deck in my favor today, I made sure that the Raven was as light as possible. I only had about 16 gallons of gas on board and no baggage in the back, just me and my headset. After spending some time walking the runways with the dogs and a local wolf, I decided that today would be about the best day I could hope for if I wanted to attempt a landing at the Field of Dreams before the snow flew. The Field of Dreams is only about 9 miles from CYHD, Dryden Airport, so it didn't take long to get there at all. I joined the pattern for the Field of Dreams, crossing midfield to join a left downwind for runway 27 and set up for low and over. This would be to take one more final look at the approach and the runway to see if there are any unidentified hazards. This low and over would be the final dress rehearsal for the actual landing, full flaps and actual approach speeds, right down to just a few feet off the deck. My wife was waiting nervously on the ground to capture this historic event, or to record my demise if things went badly. I'm not sure what she expected. So I got Raven all configured for landing, full flaps, approach speeds, give or take a few knots for the low and over, and flew the approach for runway 27. The threshold of runway 27 is right at the edge of the trees. With the trees right up to the edge of the field, this means I have to drop it down as soon as I can clear the trees to avoid wasting as much runway as possible. The tricky bit is dropping the nose without picking up too much speed. Here's where the footage my wife shot comes in real handy. Came right down within a couple of feet of touching the ground, powered back up, and did my missed approach. Watching my speed, flaps up in stages, and back into the circuit. The next one will be for real. Well, low and over went well. Time to do it for real. Once again, we're all set up, speeds are good, full flaps, coming in over the trees, getting ready to drop it down on the runway. Managed to touch down in the first quarter of the runway, which is pretty good. Now, a 3-point landing probably would have used a little less runway, but I prefer to do wheel landings with this airplane, and I had plenty of room, so it all worked out well. I thought I might be a little more nervous coming into this field, seeing as how it was kind of built by my own hands, and I had never done anything like this before. But to be honest, I think I was pretty confident in the airplane, and my landings I'd made earlier this summer on some shorter, rougher fields really helped build the confidence. I was pretty busy just concentrated on flying the airplane, really too busy to worry about being worried. The touchdown, rollout, and even taxiing down the runway were quite smooth. Pretty happy with the way the runway turned out. The apron, on the other hand, the apron's a little rough. You'll see here as I pull off of the actual runway, it gets a little bit rough. That's going to need a little bit of work, but one step at a time. As I parked Raven on my apron, just in front of our cabin, it seemed a little surreal. 2 years of work finally led to landing on my own strip. So step one was done, the landing. And after a few minutes of visiting with Becky, snapping a few pics, and going over what really just happened, it was time to start thinking about step two. Step two was taking off. But for just a few minutes anyway, I was just thrilled to finally have landed on my own strip. I was just glad to be there.
Well, here we are. We're at the Field of Dreams, and guess who made it? The Raven! Yeah, the Field of Dreams just had a reality check, and now it's kind of the Field of Reality, maybe? I don't know. But yeah, here we are. We landed. My lovely wife, she says, no, I don't want to be in the picture. My lovely wife came and even videoed it for me. So yeah, it's an airport now. Yay!
Well, we did it. We managed to turn an old hayfield full of alders and anthills into an actual runway smooth enough to land an RV. And after the obligatory hugs and pictures for prosperity, it was time to attempt our first takeoff.
Yep. All right, well, we did it. We landed. Now we got to see if we can take off again. What could go wrong?
This achievement of landing at my own airstrip could not have happened without the incredible amount of help I got from friends and family, neighbors, and of course my wife, who listened to my crazy dreams and ideas and somehow figures out a way to make them come true. Without the help of friends and neighbors, this would still be a huge field just being overgrown with alders and anthills. Will Zerberg and his family helped out with equipment and knowledge. Kevin Glenister and Ernie Kabelka helped out with the equipment and the know-how. Brian Olson spent a good chunk of his summer vacation working with me out at the field and helping in every imaginable way. Marty Lappage brought his grader over and did a lot of work, moved a lot of ground. Dean Wormke, with his ability to find just about anything a guy would ever need, he found me a propane tank that I could turn into a roller for this endeavor. And of course my mother-in-law, who let me put so many hours on her tractor working this plot of land into what we have here today. There were many more that helped me out along the way, and forgive me for not mentioning your names, but it's truly appreciated. But now it's time to start thinking about taking off, so let's use all the runway we got. Nothing more useless to a pilot than runway behind him. So here we are, we got the tail just about in the trees. We got the full use of the whole 2,200 feet of runway ahead of us. So let's get strapped in and see if we can't get off the ground. Use the soft short field takeoff technique here. So brakes on, power to full power. Once we get full RPM, we release the brakes, get the tail up as quick as we can, and see if we can't get airborne. Once we're in the air, we keep her in the ground effect, let it accelerate, and pretty soon we're at good climb speed, and up and away we go. So to celebrate this big achievement, I thought a flyby was in order, so we're going to go with our flyby, buzzing field, and head off back to Dryden. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and be sure to check in for future updates of the Field of Dreams.